Hey everybody. Well, I just started doing my 11:11 a.m.s again for lockdown yesterday, as hopefully you saw. And if you didn't, I did. But guess what? It's about 25 past 4 a.m. It's about 4:25 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. my time, and I went to bed at a reasonable hour and I just couldn't sleep, and I was like, I'm just going to tune into the election, and I just find it so fascinating. So I'm just posting this to say I may be asleep at 11:11 a.m. tomorrow. I think I'm going to need to get some sleep, but I thought I'd give you a little astrological thought. Just as I've just been watching CNN, and they've been talking about someone in America who I actually have never heard of, called Lindsey Graham, who's apparently a politician, who's apparently been on Fox News, which I don't have. I've been watching CNN. And apparently Lindsey Graham has been saying on Fox News, literally that he is going to reject the results of the election. I think just in Pennsylvania, but maybe he's trying to reject the results of the entire election. So I just wanted to, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I just thought it was quite interesting as an example of the chaos that's ensued with the election falling on the end of Mercury retrograde. Like, I'm sure if you've been following my pages or you listened to me on Unity Radio this week or whatever, you've heard me saying, expect chaos. There's going to be people claiming victory and not claiming victory, and confusion and demands for recounts, which we've seen all of those. I have to admit, I did not see it going that far with someone actually trying to invalidate the entire ballot. But that is classic Mercury retrograde. And I just want to kind of point it out in the interests of astrology, because, people don't always believe in astrology, and sometimes it's so in your face. One of the reasons why people get into astrology is because, like me, they start to study it and they start to see things like this, which, you can't make this stuff up. So there you go. I've got so many other things I could talk about tonight. I kind of don't want to make any predictions about anything, because I feel I did make one slightly outlandish one on Twitter. I guess I can say it here since I said it on Twitter. I was kind of going to delete the tweet, but I didn't. Anyway, let me say it. I think what's going to happen here is that Biden's going to win, which is kind of obvious now. And the Republicans are going to drag this through the courts, which is also quite obvious now. And I think it will be sorted out with the eclipse, full moon eclipse in Gemini, which is the sign of Donald Trump. I think that might be what's going to happen. I'm not 100% sure, but looking at it, thinking about it, it all kind of makes sense. I haven't actually worked out when the shadow period for Mercury retrograde's finished, but that's probably going to affect it. And astrology sometimes is easier in hindsight, but looking at it now, I can think, okay, well, it does make sense. There's the whole Mercury retrograde disaster. There's going to be the shadow period that's going to last a bit. There's going to be, which will be all the court stuff. And then probably it'll all be thrown out with the full moon eclipse in the sign of Gemini, which is Trump's sign. So there you go. So I'm not saying I want that to happen. I'm just saying that's probably what's going to happen, because I think pretty much what they've been saying, the commentators have been saying, is even if there has been, any funny business whatsoever, it hasn't, or any mistakes made, it hasn't been, a big deal. And, there are always mistakes made and so on and so forth. So that is what I'm thinking. So I know everybody loves a card, and I do have a way to give you a card. So stay tuned. If you've got a question, pause this video now, put it in the comments, and I'm going to draw a card using the app that I have on my phone for my oracle cards, which I can record my screen. So if I'm asleep, in fact, I think I'm going to just post this for 11:11 a.m. This is going to be my 11:11 a.m. Hopefully I'll be asleep getting some Zeds, as they say. Here's your card. Ask your question.
All right, so here we go. Beginner reading. This is my Moonology Oracle Cards app, by the way. Have you asked your question? Because here we go. Here it is. Oh, okay. So what were you asking about? The energy is gaining momentum. This is actually a positive card. So during the waxing cycle, hope springs eternal. This card is a very positive omen, indicating that you can create the reality you're dreaming of, though it will take some more time and work yet. You're not quite there yet. This is a time of energies rising up. Emotions are building too. Where do you want to go? And do you believe you can get there? Either you can just keep meditating and focusing on your desired outcome, or you can make the courageous commitment to take more practical steps towards your goals. Whichever you decide, you are most certainly on track. So if that sounds good to you, the attune to the moon is, I know I'm headed in the right direction. Okay, your situation is full of potential. A dream can come true. More effort is required. And so just looking at this card, it's the waxing moon card, and the waxing moon is the period between the new moon and the full moon when it's really very much time to go after whatever it is that you want. So there you go. Lots of love. Have a beautiful day.